one of the Texas Freedom Network Education Fund just did a poll in Texas. We asked people what they thought about what was going on in the State Board of Education, and overwhelmingly Republican, Democratic, Independent. They said they wanted curriculum and textbook requirements set by teachers and scholars. I mean, well, who knew? Rather than an elected State Board of Education. Rebecca and Judy are running for the State Board of Education in, well, essentially Republican districts. They've been represented by Republicans for a long time. Demographics have changed a little bit, some of the district, for Judy especially. But when y'all are out there campaigning, what are you hearing from folks on the ground about, you know, what they want on the State Board of Education? Are you seeing the same kinds of things we're finding in polling, that people want expertise involved, or is this just something in Texas that's scary?
I wouldn't say the response is monolithic, and that's one of the important things about campaigning. You go out into different counties and you talk to different groups, and in some places that I go, if I go to Democratic groups, they're just so thankful that someone is willing to run for the State Board of Education. And that is the overwhelming message I get from almost everyone. But as someone who has to make a lot of telephone calls asking for money, I also occasionally get people who don't want to talk to me. I know that's surprising. You're probably surprised to hear that. But, you know, and I have to just suck it up, because I am doing this because I really believe in education, and that's what we have to get across to everyone, that we really are people who care about education and who know about education. So it's not just a matter of us having good intentions, it's also having good experience. So the other thing that I encounter out there is that people really want to understand, but the current board has made it very confusing for people because they've changed their minds so many times. They've tried to take out Cesar Chavez and Oscar Romero and Thurgood Marshall and Barbara Jordan, and then, oh, okay, we'll put them back. They tried to take Jefferson out of the Enlightenment thinkers and put in John Calvin and Thomas Aquinas. That got people a little upset, and then, okay, so they put Jefferson back, but they took the word Enlightenment out. Now they put it somewhere else, but they put it somewhere where it doesn't make any sense. It's sitting all by itself, and then, you know, you've got a few random thinkers that students are supposed to just memorize those names. So when I go out, people want to understand, and I try to make it simple, because I don't expect them to be experts in history or Enlightenment thought or phonetics or, you know, fuzzy math. They've made it so that even math is politicized. But we just try to get that same consistent message out to them, that we need teachers on the board and we need educators on the board, people who will respect the knowledge of those scholars and experts in the field. And we keep saying it over and over again. And it's hard for us as, you know, intellectuals to really boil it down to something simple, but that's what we need to do, and that's what we need to spread to all of you, to spread to all of your friends, and to tell them to spread it to all of their friends.
The other thing I hear when I'm talking especially with people in the business community is that there are two things that they really need from their employees, and this also is people in higher ed. When I say, what do you need from students who are coming to college, or what do you need from students who are coming to the workforce? Every single time they talk about two things. The first is collaboration. Students need to know how to work together. The other thing is creativity and critical thinking. And the frustration that I think we are all in Texas having is that the board could be applying project-based learning. They could be requiring lots of great educational experiences, but we can't even talk about those things because we're talking about whether Thurgood Marshall is a good role model and whether evolution is a real concept. So what I'm hearing is a real frustration from people who are trying to hire people coming out of high school who aren't prepared.
Before I open it up, I just want to let everybody know this is not just something that's obviously important to Texas. Unlike Vegas, what happens in Texas doesn't stay in Texas when it comes to textbooks. We're the second largest purchaser of textbooks in the country. Publishers, and I worked in the publishing industry for 13 years, they publish their textbooks to meet the Texas standards. They sell those same books to schools across the country. So this is of importance, I think, to just about everybody in this room, whether you're